Hi there. Today we're going to continue our study of fractions. We're adding two fractions that have different denominators. We can't add a fraction with a different denominator. We need to transform these fractions into a new fraction problem that has the same denominator. So for this work today, you're going to need your math notebook and a pencil. I'd like you to follow along in your math notebook. So write this down. When you see a fraction problem like this, the first thing we're going to do, number one, is we're going to write out a new fraction problem. That's the first thing we're going to do, because we're going to find a new denominator, a denominator that we can divide 5 and 3 into, and that's going to go right here. So right away we know that we need to make a new fraction problem. Let's just go ahead and draw that. That's what I did here. Step 2. What's the lowest common multiple of 5 and 3? That's a good question. What is the lowest common multiple of 5 and 3? So I'm going to go ahead and just draw out a little chart here. Starting with 3, it's the smaller of the two numbers. I'm going to count by threes. 3, 6, 9. Oops. 3, 6. Now I'm going to go to 5 because 5 is smaller. I could have gone on forever. That I would have never found the lowest common multiple. Always start with the smaller of the two numbers. That's the trick there. So 3, 6, stop. 5, 10, now 6 is smaller, so I'm going back to that. 3, 6, 9, still smaller. 12, now 12 is bigger, so I'll go to the 10. 5, 10, 15, that's weird, 5, 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, stop right there. I've got my lowest common multiple of 3 and 5. That now is going to become my new denominator. So step 3 is going to be to write in the new denominator. So just to review, step 1 was to write out a blank new fraction problem. Step 2 is to find the lowest common multiple. And step 3 is to write that in as our new denominator. Sometimes we call that the lowest common denominator. That is our new denominator. Now, step 4 is, let's see, I want to shrink this down. There we go. How did I get from 5 to 15? So in your notebook, write this down, just like you see it on the page here. 5 times what equals 15? That's the question here. 5 times what is 15? 5 times 3 is 15. And whatever I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. 5 times 3 is 15. 4 times 3 is what? 12. I'm actually going to change my highlighter color here. Just want to point out that whatever I do to the bottom here, I also do to the top. See, they're both times 3. That will always be the case in these fraction problems. The multiplier here is always going to be the same on the bottom and the top. Okay, so I've transformed 4 fifteenths into 4 fifths into 12 fifteenths. Now, how do I get this number over here, this other fraction? 3 times what equals 15? 3 times what is 15? What is that? 3 times what is 15? 3 times 5 is 15. So there, I've kind of solved this problem. 3 times 5 is 15. I've got that down. Now I need to do the same thing to the top. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 5 is what? What is 2 times 5? 2 times 5 equals 10. So this looks pretty fancy. It looks pretty complicated, honestly, but it's pretty cool. The more you practice this, the easier it's going to get. And the important thing we're going to remember here is that whatever we do in the bottom here, we have to do to the top. And just recall those steps. To begin with, we write out that blank fraction problem, just blank plus blank. Step 2, find the lowest common multiple of these two numbers. Step 3, denominator times what equals that. Okay. And then whatever we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. We do the same thing with both fractions. All right, and then finally, we can add these two numbers. I'm actually going to erase all of this just to show how simple this is now. So I'm going to erase all of this stuff here. You can always go back, you can always pause or rewatch the video if it's helpful. And let's get rid of all of this gobbledygook and just look at this. This is our new fraction problem that we created. It says 12/15 plus 10/15 equals what? Well, the denominator stays the same. See that? And we're really just adding the numerator, 12 plus 10. 12 plus 10 is 22. 22/15. That's our new answer. And that does it. That's our solution. All right, well, if you have any questions or you didn't quite catch all that, have your math notebook and your pencil handy. Rewatch this video and maybe take any additional notes. Just kind of write down those different steps as we go and kind of practice that till you feel comfortable. We're going to do another video here in a moment, just practicing all the problems on this page, and that's also going to be helpful for you as you're getting used to this. If you have any questions, make sure to let your teacher know and have fun. This is some pretty cool problem solving.